Hark! What light dost gleam in the sky from afar? Is it a bird, is it a plane, or is it motherfucking RISTAR? Now, you'd be forgiven for confusing avian vertebrates and air transportation vehicles for a character like RISTAR. His eponymous Genesis game released in 1995, a time when many gamers were transitioning to a new generation of consoles. And as exciting as the dawn of the 3D era was, it also meant the sun would prematurely set for many would-be 2D classics. And RISTAR was one of them, a fantastic platformer that came a few years too late. Of course, one of the reasons for its fashionably late arrival was that the game took forever to make. The idea that would become RISTAR was actually the conceptual birth of Sonic the Hedgehog. While brainstorming for a mascot to challenge Nintendo's Super Mario, Sega came up with a rabbit-like character with long, extendable ears. It could reach for things, it could pick up items and swing in circles. Those prehensile ears were the twist around which Sega was starting to create a very original new platformer. But as the game evolved and kept getting faster and faster, the gimmick made less and less sense. That rabbit thing was dropped for a hedgehog, and Sonic was born. But it's strange one of the industry's biggest characters of all time would share such a history with one so obscure. What's more important is where the two deviate. For starters, RISTAR's game is way better than Sonic's. At least I think so, but really it's all about preference. RISTAR shares a lot in common with Sonic the Hedgehog in terms of aesthetics and level design, but the two games embrace an entirely different set of gameplay principles. Where the Sonic games focus on running through the levels as quickly as possible, RISTAR is a much slower game. In fact, it's more in line with traditional platformers, and that leads to a host of advantages. What were once rabbit ears became extendable arms in this final product, but their effect on the gameplay is virtually unchanged from the original concept. RISTAR can grab onto enemies and reach for ledges. The levels do a nice job of utilizing those abilities into their design, so they never feel tacked on or gimmicky. It's a really smart twist on what is otherwise a traditional platforming experience, and as a result, RISTAR never feels derivative or cliched. It never feels clunky either, and that's because RISTAR actually controls well. Again, to make a comparison to Sonic, RISTAR feels heavier and more grounded. He doesn't have the momentum-based controls used in Sonic, which are great for going fast, but let's be honest, they can be a real hindrance for precise platforming. On the other hand, precise platforming is an absolute joy in RISTAR. The swinging mechanic may feel a bit strange at first, but once you learn how to utilize the ability to the fullest, you'll be able to swing and leap through the levels like a celestial hybrid of Bionic Commando and Donkey Kong Country. And to me, that's what makes RISTAR so good. It's a clever progression of the genre's ideas, but it never takes away what makes a platformer a platformer. The controls are key in enabling those ideas to work, and they do. They really set RISTAR apart from other Sega mascots, but just to give him that unmistakably Sega feel, RISTAR can also do a little blast processing of his own. Obviously, we're huge fans of this game here at Undertow, as the name of our channel should suggest to more attentive RISTAR fans, and it's a shame games this good sometimes go overlooked. But fortunately, RISTAR has risen once again on the Wii's Virtual Console, another chance to shine his underrated light. RISTAR may not be as popular as his famous blue relative, but at least for me, the Sega Genesis was always better stretchy than fast.